Webcast ideas as a whole, be sure to hit that the Microsoft.com link there. That's an area where you can just submit ideas to Microsoft for upcoming webcasts as a whole. So love to see you do that. I'm going to go ahead and flip to the very last thing we have here, which is our survey. If you could all please fill in the survey on the screen here. And if you can go ahead and do that, we're going to go ahead and continue. We've got a couple more questions that just came in, so we'll talk about those. Gregory, one large thing I see with my clients is that they wish they could have an SBS-type interface for administration in Server 2008 R2. I know they added the Active Directory management tool. However, the simple menu design that exists in SBS and EBS makes remote management significantly simpler. On a side note, will a KMS server run on Server 08 R2? And one more question. We're going to hit you up with a lot of stuff here, Kevin. I hope you got the flame retardant suit on. Let's see, another one. I have not seen an x86 release of Server R2. Perhaps I missed the answer earlier, but I was just wondering.
All right, so let's start again at the rear, because I remember that one most clearly. So the x86 support, it's a 64-bit operating system, so there are no plans to make a 32-bit R2 operating system. Windows 7 has a 32-bit component, so do remember that. But R2 is and will be 64-bit only, and that's kind of a trend that you should expect going forward. So stepping
the other one was on KMS server. Well, can you run a KMS server, your KMS server on Server 2008 R2?
More of that license enforcement stuff. So I believe so. But I wouldn't be the authoritative answer on that. So I do not know. That is something that we can definitely find out and maybe post up on the blog or one of the follow-up sites from this presentation.
Absolutely, we can definitely do that. Check up on that. Yeah, I would be with you, Kevin. I would assume so, but I definitely don't know that since there's an entire new set of KMS numbers that are going in for licensing with the new operating system. You for sure have to have that ability, but whether or not it actually runs on R2, I have not actually tried that myself. And then talking about the single pane, if you will, management tool, any ideas on that, or?
What I would say, kind of have to tell the company answer on this one. So I don't know of anything there. I think that's one of the kind of key differentiators of SBS and EBS is really simplifying the administration and setup of the integrated suite of products. As far as the Windows administration consoles, the product groups are always interested in feedback and customer ideas. So, if that's something, maybe it's new to them, maybe they've heard it before, I'm not sure, but their ears are always to the ground on those kinds of things. So feel free to visit Windows Server blogs, make those notes to the features. If you have a Microsoft Account Manager, you can always talk to them about things that you'd love to see come into products. We don't do these designs in silos or boxes, so, don't know what the plans are on that, but, if you're loud enough, your wish may be granted.
And unfortunately, if we hadn't already gone to the survey, and I've been told that I'm never allowed to leave the survey page because it'll blow everybody's surveys up. If I do that, I would share my desktop because what I've done, I have the same issue, Gregory. I've always wondered that myself, and what I've found to be really quite a simple answer is I hit the old start button and run, and just typed in MMC and opened an empty MMC window on my Windows 7 client, where I've installed all my different my administration applications for Exchange, for OCS, for Group Policy, for Hyper-V, et cetera, et cetera. I opened that up and simply went into, add and add, remove, snap in, and I've got a single console window now that I saved a desktop shortcut out there that I have on my taskbar and on my desktop and everywhere else. That's a single click, opens a window where I've got my Active Directory domains and trusts, my Active Directory sites and services, everything that's in that Active Directory management toolkit or piece that's already there now. But I've also got my ADSI edited. I've got my certificates. I've got my DHCP, DNS, Exchange, like I said, OCS, Group Policy, everything in one window. And it's really just a matter of I open that one window, and that's where I live my life out of that window, with the exception of running all my Windows updates and everything, which I use System Center Essentials for personally. Or, if you're in a bigger company than what we are, you'd use Operations Manager or Configuration Manager for doing something like that. But so I can run my entire Active Directory tool set, including everything, not just Active Directory, out of one pane, and then I can run all of my management tools out of a second pane. It's not all in one window, but it's pretty darn close. So that would be my highly recommended way of going about doing that in the future, if there's, if you're interested in that. And that was the last one I see for Gregory there, and we're hitting right at 1 o'clock straight up. So I want to thank everybody for attending today. I hope you got some useful information out of this presentation, and I want to thank Derek and Kevin both very much for attending. It's been great having you guys, and I look forward to everybody. We didn't have one in here, but a slide in here in this deck, but we are doing another presentation 2 weeks from now, and we're going to be going over Windows 7 and application compatibility. It's going to be right after the official Windows 7 launch, so there should be a lot of good buzz going around that, and we're going to look at ways of making sure that all of our applications are, in fact, compatible, and ways to deal with it if we, in fact, do have applications that are not compatible with Windows 7, how we can still make that transition. So that's where we're going to be in 2 weeks. Hope to see you then. And thank you very much, otherwise, everybody, for attending.
Thank you. I'd like to remind everyone that you may print a PDF of the slides by clicking Control-P. You can either print or save the slides locally for your convenience. And as Tim mentioned, you should all be seeing a survey in your slide area. If you could take a moment to fill